Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's severe weather update. So we have an enhanced risk of severe weather across the northeastern Colorado, southwestern corner of Nebraska, and the northwestern corner of Kansas, including the Denver metro area, as well as McCook, Nebraska. We have a slight risk of severe weather extending from the western central Texas panhandle across far eastern New Mexico, across eastern Colorado, western Kansas, central southwest Nebraska, western Wyoming, and southwestern South Dakota in the yellow, and a marginal risk extending from west central Texas all the way up through the Dakotas to the Canadian border in northern Minnesota. We also have a marginal risk of severe weather across southeast Texas and central, northern, and southwestern Louisiana in this dark green area today. And we have a concerning tornado threat across northeastern Colorado, the southwestern corner of Nebraska, and the northwestern corner of Kansas, where we have a 10% chance of tornadoes touching down within 25 miles of a location in this yellow area today. And this is just east of Denver. So if you live in this yellow area, make sure you're very weather aware today, as you have an elevated tornado threat in your area, and we could be seeing the potential for numerous tornadoes in this yellow area today. We have a 5% tornado risk, including the city of Denver, bordering on Cheyenne, and in McCook and Colby in the brown area today. And we have a large area that could be seeing an isolated tornado in the green from the western Texas panhandle and Oklahoma panhandle through Wyoming into central Nebraska. So make sure you're really paying attention to the weather if you live in this yellow and brown area today, as we could be seeing several tornadoes in these areas today. We also have a 2% tornado risk across southeast Texas and central southwest and northern Louisiana, including Houston, Lufkin, Alexandria, and Shreveport. So make sure you're on guard for an isolated tornado if you live in this area as well today. Looking at the damaging wind threat, we have a large 15% chance of damaging straight line winds at 58 miles per hour stronger within 25 miles of a location, extending from the Texas Panhandle across the eastern Rockies into Wyoming. So make sure you're on guard for some scattered damaging winds. If you live in the yellow area today, a 5% chance extending from west central Texas all the way up through North Dakota, northern Minnesota, and the Canadian border, as well as portions of southeast Texas, central southwest Louisiana. And we have a significant hail threat as well across uh, eastern northeast Colorado, southwestern Nebraska, northwestern Kansas, where we have a 30% chance of quarter-sized hail or larger within 25 miles of a location in the red area today, 15% chance in the yellow, 5% chance in the brown, and then across Denver towards McCook and Colby, we could be seeing gorilla hail today, where we could be seeing hail between golf ball to baseball, softball, tennis ball size today. So if you live in the Denver metro area especially, and anywhere in the red and black hatched area, make sure you're parking your cars in the garage, as we could be seeing some very significant hail in this area today. Now, timing out the storms today, um, we're going to start to see our storms initiate around 4 to 5 o'clock Central Daylight Time. And this is going to be the 14Z run of the H2R model around the Denver area. And then as we go into 6 and 7 o'clock, storm coverage is going to become widespread across northeastern Colorado, southwestern Nebraska, northwestern Kansas, where we're going to be seeing a cluster of cells develop, could be producing several tornadoes and very large hail when they develop. Going into 8 o'clock Central Daylight Time, we could be seeing gorilla hailers in northeastern Colorado, as well as tornado producing supercells with damaging winds across western Kansas, southwestern Nebraska from storm clusters. Going into 9 o'clock Central Daylight Time, these storms are going to merge into a large mesoscale convective system and produce more of a damaging wind threat. But we could be seeing spin up tornadoes in this mesoscale convective system around 9 o'clock as well, so make sure you're paying attention as well. And then going into 10 o'clock, the storms will begin to move into west central Nebraska and will train across southwest Nebraska and Kansas as we go through the overnight hours as late as 2 a.m. Central Daylight Time. So we could be seeing these storms going into the night as well. So make sure you're really paying attention to the weather. You're being weather aware across northeastern Colorado, southwestern Nebraska, northwestern Kansas today. And we do have a significant flooding threat as well to talk about across eastern Texas, western Louisiana, southwestern Arkansas. We have a moderate risk of excessive flooding rainfall today. So we could be seeing numerous flash flooding in this red area today, as we're going to get bands of thunderstorms training over the same area, which could produce several inches of rain in a very short period of time. We have a slight risk of flooding across most of Arkansas, much of central northern Louisiana, east central Texas, southeast Oklahoma in the yellow, and a marginal risk of flash flooding in the dark green today, covering much of Mississippi, Alabama, southwest Tennessee, southern Missouri, eastern Oklahoma into central Texas. And then we also have a slight risk of flooding across central northeast Wyoming, far southeast Montana, southwest western South Dakota, far northwest Nebraska in this yellow area, and a large marginal risk covering much of the Great Plains, eastern Rockies, and into Minnesota. So make sure you're really on guard for flash flooding. Turn around, don't drown. If you live across far east Texas, far west Louisiana, far southwest Arkansas today, we have a significant flooding threat in place for your areas today. Thanks for watching today's severe weather update. Make sure you're really paying attention to the weather across northeast Colorado, southwest Nebraska, northwest Kansas, as we have an elevated tornado threat today. Stay safe. Have a wonderful day, my friends.